I want to appreciate the engagement of caregivers in care reform. One, I appreciate that we acknowledge it is important. I appreciate that caregivers have been involved before, but I would love us to change and even do better for them. I would want us to challenge that participation does not stop at a story, and there is more to participation than that. If the engagement becomes tokenistic, caregivers will withdraw. They may not feel so safe to even engage, and as long as we want to do better, we have no better way to do it than to have them at the table, at the right tables. They need to be involved in policies, they need to be involved in evaluation, they need to be involved in the planning. And I finalizing by saying we need to involve caregivers on bottom-up planning and not present them with ready-made plans. I want to talk about a don't, where we have organizations, like caregivers need to participate, but then they have pressure to sign documents that they do not even understand. And when they give their consent, by the end of the day, they end up feeling exploited once they learn what the content meant. And so sometimes they sign forms, sometimes they sign contracts that they do not have the understanding, and not basically because they cannot understand, but because there's so much pressure that is put on them, and the time frames and all these things. And once they give the consent without knowing what that means, they end up feeling bad about themselves, and this oftentimes may lead to future disengagement. The fact that a caregiver is willing to participate in a conference or a workshop, it does not automatically mean they want to see their image. We have people taking images and not even seeking consent from them, and they end up finding the images on social media. And so for me, it goes back to what exactly do we want? What are the intentions? Could we involve them, seek consent? And if they are not willing to, they are just not willing to. It doesn't mean the conference will not have a meaning if we don't take their images on social media. So that to me is exploitative, when you think you can just have their image and put up their story without their consent. More often we've taken caregivers as an identity, and we forget that once we mention a caregiver, that is all who they are. They have nothing else but a caregiver, and we forget that there are other aspects. And sometimes I find it interesting when a caregiver comes on board and all they have to do, all that we know is of them being in care, and we forget that there are all other aspects. They could be pursuing, engineering, they could have another profession. And so for me, it goes back to identifying someone and saying, this is Jane and she's a wife, that is not the identity, it's just a status. And so if we change the way we look at these caregivers and not being like the care living being the identity, because there's an experience they have, and that doesn't mean that is who they are. It doesn't mean that they are broken. It doesn't mean that because they were exploited, it is stopped at that. They have, they have changed. Things have changed. When we talk about living, even in Kenya, and we talk about a Form 4 leaver, we talk about them once they leave that grade. They've exited the high school and they're Form 4 leavers. But no one calls you a Form 4 leaver 10 years down the line. I am not saying we should stop calling caregivers, but what I mean is we need to stop looking at them as that is all that they are made of. We have powerful women and men as caregivers. We have doctors as caregivers. We have engineers as caregivers. We have activists as caregivers. And when we change the way we look at them, we will change the way we engage them and the way we involve them and the way that we ask them to participate.